Okay, so let's continue from where we were. So as I was explaining, the problem statement today is how you can cater to different data sources, how you can break the data silos. So every organization relies on data to drive decisions, right? Your data might reside in different sources. It could be a transactional data in databases like MySQL or Postgres, files in Amazon S3, there is Azure Blob as well. Then there are department specific systems like for HR, for finance, say Salesforce. So when data is scattered across multiple systems, the challenge is not the data availability. It's the consolidation. The real challenge is consolidation, integration, and making sense out of that data as a whole. So that's the problem we are going to address today. Yeah. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen. Let's talk about this in detail. Okay, so before we address the problem in hand, let me introduce you to Luminor and how you can break the data silos using Luminor. So Luminor is an AI-enabled data analytics platform designed to support the entire data journey of an organization. It helps businesses transform raw data into reliable, actionable insights. At a high level, Luminor provides data connectivity across multiple sources. We do have 80 plus connectors available from various different sources, RDBMS, NoSQL, file-based systems. We have advanced analytics dashboard and data science, conversational AI to interact with data, and low-code app builder tools to build business applications and workflows. So I'll touch briefly upon each one of these as we move forward. Okay. So for any organization, what is the most important aspect that drives their market positioning? It's the business results. Okay. And to achieve those business results, you have to perform some actions. So you need to perform some actions. To reach that conclusion that this is the action that I want to perform, this might help me in my business growth. What you need is insights and recommendations. Okay. So to get to the insights, again, you would require something which exactly is the data. And data not as fragmented parts, but as single source of truth. That's what we call as lakehouse. Now to bring this data into a lakehouse, you would require an ETL tool, which is called data integration and transformation, ETL tools basically, and we have it in Luminor as well. To bring data to your single source of truth via an ETL tool, you require connectors. So as you can see, this is the connectors. Now, what if I tell you all of this can be covered within a single platform, which we call as Luminor? So you can cover your entire data journey right from the beginning of data ingestion to getting the insights and turning them into actions and getting the business results. So this is the power of Luminor. I'll be moving on the basis of this particular flowchart. Now I'll be moving on to the pillars of Luminor. So we have total 6 pillars of Luminor, categorized across 3 different categories: data, insights, and actions. And once you reach the actions, you can drive business results out of that. So first, I'll focus on the data tab. In the data, we have 2 different pillars. First being Luminor's data integration tool, which we call as data magnet. Now we do have 100 plus connectors available. All the major systems, RDBMS, file systems, cloud-based databases, they are covered within this. It has a very simple GUI-based, drag and drop-based interface. Plus, we do have code support as well. So you can write code. If you're not a technical person, if you're a business user, you can drive ETL pipelines using drag and drop-based interface. Next is Luminor's data lakehouse. So once you get your data into ETL, transform it, you have to store it somewhere. That's where the Luminor's data lakehouse comes into picture. It's a high performance, multi-parallel processing data warehouse, and you can use this as per your use cases to cater to your data journey. Coming on to the insights part, once you have your data sorted, it has been stored at a place, you need to drive insights out of it. So first being, we have the dashboarding capability in form of Luminor's intuitive visualizations. We have 100 plus visuals available, different kinds of charts. Then we have support for high charts library. You can write your custom JavaScript code and generate any number of visuals which are available within that library. It has a drag and drop based interface, so it's easy to implement with SQL support as well. Next is Luminor's Advanced and Augmented Analytics. This is the module which helps you implement your data science workflows. You can implement AIML models, you can train them, you can use it for prediction, predictive modeling, everything is available within this. So once you create your data sets in Luminor's data lakehouse, you can utilize that data within this particular module and run your data science workflows. Next is we have Luminor's Conversational Analytics. We call it as Ask Me. It is a natural language querying based kind of a chatbot like interface, but have much more functionality than that. You can even select the kind of agent that you want to chat with about your data in Ask Me. And we call it narrative insights because based on your data, it gives you a summarization, detailed understanding of what this particular data looks like, KPIs out of it that you can, build in your dashboard. So that was about action. That was about insights. Next is action. So once you have your insights, now is the time to take actions. To take actions, you might be building some workflows, you might be creating some applications. That is where Luminor's low-code app builder comes into picture. We call it as App Hub. It's a custom application where you can create your workflows, business workflows, send notifications, and it's a totally drag and drop based tool. It's easy to implement. So once you have all this sorted, you can drive business results once you have completed your data journey. Coming on to the next thing. So we call Luminor as unified data intelligence. Why? I would tell you through one of the case studies. So let's check this example. There's a user who has different kinds of data sources. They are legacy SaaS-based applications, ERP, CRM applications, and web portals. Now, all of them are scattered across different systems. Now, what you have to do is, as I explained, what you have to do is consolidate them at one place. For that, you need connectors. For these systems that I have listed down, all the connectors are available within the Luminor. Then, once you have the connectors, you create connections within the data magnet, which is the integration tool, and run your pipelines, run your jobs, schedule them, and get the data in the single source of truth, which is Luminor's unified data lakehouse. You can store petabytes of data within this. And as I explained, it's a multi-parallel processing based data warehouse. So it caters to all of your needs. Next is you can draw insights from that. We have Python and R support. You can create dashboards, reports, and then Ask Me, have a conversation about your data with the Ask Me chatbot interface, but you can perform much more than that. Then business apps and workflows, you can create applications. It's a low-code based system. You can create applications, all the workflows are covered. You can send notifications on WhatsApp, Microsoft Teams, you can create tickets or incidents as well. So once you have this entire thing sorted, now your applications would also create some data. You can again bring that data back to the Luminor's data lakehouse, and this entire data journey, the loop has been completed. So this makes everything automated and optimized. Once you get this done, you can have effective business decision making. You can have improved operational efficiency and you can have minimized revenue leakage. So with this context set, now I'll be moving on to the demo part. I'll be explaining about how you can import data within your Luminor system, Luminor platform. And from there, we can create dashboards, which Himanshi will take over. She'll create the dashboard, give you how you can use your data to bring out insights, and especially when it's a cross-functional dashboard where you have data from different sources. Okay. So a brief background about what our data looks like. So I have data from 3 different departments of an organization. They are HR, sales, and finance. Then I have master data set for the entire organization, which includes master tables of employees, the location, the job roles that are available within the organization, and many more things. So I'll move on to the demo part now. Okay. So right now we are on the Luminor's homepage. This is what the homepage looks like. It has all the components that I have earlier explained, the data tab, the dashboard, ask me, do you know, and data magnet. So everything is covered here. And this particular chart flowchart that you are able to see, this explain the entire Luminor's data landscape, how you can cater to your needs, and how every component fits into this particular diagram. So that was about it. As I explained the data, I'll show you one of the data sets, how you can import data by creating one of the data sets. So what you need to do is, this is the data lake house that I was talking about within Luminar. Okay, so first thing that I would be doing is creating a data set. Okay, so as I explained, you can see multiple connectors being available, more than 80 plus connectors we have. So for my use case, my database resides in MySQL as well as PostgreSQL. So I'll just give you a brief understanding of how this works. So as you can see, I have multiple connections already created for MySQL. Now, if I want to create a new one, what I need to do is hit on this create new connection. Enter all my details as any database driver requires these details. And then I can test connection and I can save it and I can further utilize it wherever I need. So this was about it. But in the interest of time, what I've done is I have already created these data sets. I'll showcase one of them to you. Yeah, so this is the data set that resides in PostgreSQL. I have a PostgreSQL database where these master tables have been created. And out of that, once I have created the connection, I have imported this into the data set. This is what this data set looks like. This has customer account, master table. This has date master. This has department, employees, job roles, and many more things within an organization which are needed. So this was the master data set. Similarly, we have transaction data sets residing in MySQL. So as you can see, there is sales transaction. Okay, so this is like sales pipeline, whatever projects are in pipeline, and what products have been sold. So everything is within this particular data set. Similarly, we have for HR and different other departments. Okay, so that was about data sets. Now, the next thing and the most important one here is the schema. So schema, you can understand it more like a logical layer where you create relationships between different data sets or data that you have imported. Once you create the relationships, it's not a physical layer or physical data that is stored somewhere, but it's a logical layer which is stored and it's only used when you create dashboards or you use Ask Me. Those relationships are used and on the go, it is calculated and your calculations are done based on that. So let me create one of the schema. Let me showcase how you can do it. I'll hit on this button, create schema. And since I know the relationship between my tables, different tables, so I would go with the join tables. You can also opt for, not joining your tables and directly importing them in the schema and creating a dashboard. Okay. So it has a very simple, easy to use interface. All you need to do is select your table. So for this use case, I'll be selecting them employee. Within that, I have employee ID as the primary key. Now, in the next thing, I would be selecting a different data set, which is HR transaction data set. Within this, I have this fact head count, which contains details of all the employees. I'll join it with the foreign key of the other table, which is employee ID. Then you have further options here to change from available join types. It could be inner, it could be left, right, full. You can further add more conditions in case few different tables they need to be joined based on multiple conditions. You can do that as well. So that was about it. I can keep on adding multiple joins and this way I can create my schema. But in the interest of time, I have already created one. I'll show you that. Yep, this one. So just to showcase what are the joins that I have created. Yeah. So using this drag and drop based interface, all I did was create joins. Now these relationships have been saved in the backend. And once I start creating dashboards or using AI based chatbot, which is Ask Me, it will reflect over there. And we have multiple options as well. You can see if your data is AI ready or not. This is the AI readiness score. I might need to perform some actions to improve it. Then I have data dictionary. All the fields which are result of that join, they are contained in here, along with multiple details available. You can preview that data, hierarchy is available. You can create variables and many more things. So that was about the data set and the schema, how you can create schema, how you can create relationships, define them, use them. From here onwards, I'll be handing it over to Himanshi, who will be walking you through how to create a dashboard, how to create a cross-functional dashboard, bring insights out of it, the kind of KPIs that you can implement, and draw value out of that. So over to you, Himanshi. You can take it from.
All right, thank you, Rishabh. So let me just begin by setting some context. So as Rishabh introduced us with how to create the unified data set, right? So the problem we understand today that is the leaders are not struggling with the lack of data, right? They are struggling with fragmented data. So sales would see revenue, HR sees people, finance sees cost, but the leadership actually needs to see business as a whole, as one system, right? So through this session, we wanted to show you how a single unified data set can bring in all the sales, finance, and HR data together to answer the questions that CXOs, the senior managers, analysts actually care about, right? So without this sort of a unified data set, as we can see, sales will be able to see the revenue, but they wouldn't be able to see that whether the headcount is sufficient or not. Similarly, HR will be able to see the hiring, but not whether it improves the pipeline or the revenue or not. Similarly, the finance will be able to see the cost, but not whether it is driving the growth. So examples from real life would be, if the revenue dips, the sales will blame the market, finance will blame the high cost, and the HR will blame the slow hiring. So all three might be partially right, but none of them are able to see the full picture. So as a result, data lives in silos, decisions are very reactive, and teams blame symptoms, not the root causes, which finally leads to leadership not able to see the business as one whole system. So in order to break these silos and bring all the things together, the answer is obviously one single unified source of truth, which we can visualize in a unified cross-functional dashboard, right? So to answer all the questions across these different departments, the data must be able to live together. So that is why this dashboard exists, because these functions cannot be analyzed in isolation. So it collates all the cross-functional insights. So what you will see here will not be like three dashboards, but all of them stitched together into one story, right? So through this unified data sets will be integrating all the departments. It will connect your people data, cost data, revenue to give you a complete view. It will be able to highlight the cause and effect relationship, not just the isolated numbers, right? Through this, we want to enable and empower the leaders to tie hiring decisions back to your pipeline growth, your revenue. Also, if we want them to view the cost as strategic enablers rather than just expenses. And finally, we want to facilitate that alignment and make decision making faster. So in one line, I have to sum up, when data is unified, decisions are aligned. And that is where that alignment leads to your cross-functional insights, not just simple visual reporting. So with that context in mind, let me move towards the demo. So if you can stop sharing the screen,
Sure.
I'll just share the product itself. Give me a moment. Yeah, I hope you are able to see my screen. Yeah, so my screen is visible. Now, so here the dashboard you see is depicting the unified insights across all the three departments in one singular chart. And we also have different metrics that each of the departments can drill down to. Right? So what we have here in terms of the data, as Rishabh earlier explained, is we have all the sales metrics in place with revenue, deals, pipelines, opportunities. We have all the HR metrics, which consist of your headcount, new hires, open candidates, and we have all the financial metrics as well, including your OPEX, COGS, CAPEX, and the total general ledger. And all of these are aligned by different months, departments, and regions, right? So let's look at one of the micro trends that we observed in terms of capacity versus conversion, right? So let me just open this particular chart in full screen so that we are able to see it better, right? So as you can see in this chart, we have total pipeline revenue, CTC, and new hires across different months, right? So we are able to observe what kind of trend it has been from throughout the year, right? So let's zoom into this very important micro trend between June and October. This is where your cross-functional insights will really come alive, right? So in June and July, we noticed that in the sales, there is a certain dip that has been observed during the June and July. Whereas if we look at the pipeline, we see that the pipeline continues to increase steadily during June, July, and August. So what can we interpret from that, right? So we can interpret that the demand exists, opportunities are being created, but maybe the sales capacity is insufficient to convert this pipeline into the revenue, right? So it might not be a demand problem, but this might be a capacity or an execution gap problem. Now, another lens we want to look at is from the HR lens, right? So you might question, right, if the pipeline is healthy, why isn't the revenue keeping up? So by connecting this to the HR data, what we are observing is during the first few months, the new hires or the active headcount was flat, right? So this might have led to a deal load per rep increase, right? So this whole data we are seeing specifically, for the sales department. So no new sales hiring happened during the first quarter, right? But as we saw that the total revenue is dipping and the pipeline was increasing, what the HR did as a response, we'll see right next. So HR saw this particular trend, and because of which they did a very proactive hiring, right? So if we see the HR data, right? So as you can see, the new hires were very less till May. But seeing this trend, HR sales hiring increased during the July and August. So they hired new sales representatives, because of which the new hires spiked. So this was a strategic intervention, not a reactive hiring from the HR department, right? So this is how teams can collaborate. Similarly, from the finance angle, if we look at the same story, we can see that the total CTC increased a bit in July and August. This might be due to the salaries being increased because of the new hires, their onboarding costs, training expenses, right? So what we can essentially say that the cost increases is an intentional investment. It is not an inefficiency, right? So indirectly, we can say that the finance is actually funding your future revenue capacity by bringing in more sales representatives who will be able to close more business, right? So now, if we look at a business outcome as a whole for the future months, once this action was taken, let me just go back to the full screen view. So as you can see, for the subsequent months following after August, the pipeline amount has decreased, which might mean that the deals are being closed and the capacity is now converting this particular demand into revenue. So as you can see, the demand increased after August. So it increased till August, September, and October, right? And this is basically the clearest sign that we are having a cross functional success because HR intervened in time and we were able to close the opportunities in time so that the revenue can grow eventually, right? So this is one of the examples of the stories you can tell from data once you have connected all of them together into one dashboard, right? So if I were to recap the whole story, so the sales identified that there was a conversion bottleneck, HR intervened in time and they increased the sales hiring. Finance momentarily absorbed that increase in CTC. Once this all was done, the final sales amount converted that pipeline into the revenue. And finally, the business productivity and the bottom line increased as a result of all of this. So, through this, what we understand is all this was not a coincidence, but a coordination between sales, finance, and HR by looking at the data in one single place, right? So, someone like a CXO might take away that what this microtrend proves that revenue is not just owned by sales alone, right? So, the pipeline wouldn't convert itself without people. Similarly, hiring without demand just waste cost. Similarly, the cost without enablement will kill the productivity. So when all these three functions work together, the capacity becomes final revenue. So this is how you'll be able to connect the functions and get unified insights. We also have different other visualizations which the departments can deep dive into to look at how their active counts, new hiring, open candidates are trending across months, region, which region is performing better, which department is performing better, where we need to improve, how is the financial efficiency when it is compared to the total revenue. um, so the revenue versus cost analysis, you can look at how the OPEX versus CAPEX versus COGS breakdown is in terms of the financial spendings. And you can look at what is the cost per deal, pipeline per hire. So all these are different measures that you can create and visualize in our Luminor dashboards in order to be able to understand, deep dive more into your data, and also get your cross-functional insights with certain charts like these. Right? So this is just one micro trend story that we wanted to deep dive into. Now I think we can, if there are any questions, team, you can put it in the chat, and we'll be able to take it in the last section, last 15 minutes. Now, if you're wondering like how easy or difficult it is to create dashboards like this, let me just say that the self-service platform is very much self-serve analytics. So it is pretty easy to create dashboards such as these. So let me just show you one or two quick examples how you'll be able to create these visualizations, right? So as you can see, I've already created certain charts, and if I were to create those charts again, I will be able to do that as well, right? So I can just simply add a new chart. So this is where you land on to our dashboard designer screen. On the left, you'll be able to see your unified data that Rishabh created for us. We can enable only the important columns that we need for making the dashboard, right? And below, you'll be able to see all the measures from your sales, finance, and HR departments. You can also create your own measures as per your need, and it's a simple drag and drop interface. You can see the canvas here. So if I want to create a simple chart such as, what is the average deal size, I'll be able to do that pretty easily by just dragging and dropping, and Luminor will be able to create the best, select the best visualization for you for the same, right? So as you can see on the right side, we have all the different chart options available. So we have 80 plus charts available, from lines to area to pie, funnel, different widgeting options. We have the God chart, uh, and different other charts. Based on the number of measures or dimensions, the charts get activated intelligently, right? So once you have created charts like these, you'll be able to customize them based on the customization options available. So you can customize it to the T, from background options, font family, font weight, even the number formatting can easily be customized based on the business need. Right? So let me just show you by making another visualization, and then we can deep dive more into the customization options from there. Okay. So suppose I want to look at what is my revenue month over month. So I can just double click on month. It will be able to, yeah. So let me just use the right column. So I want to select this column month, and I want to look at the revenue. So I have my total revenue column. I can just double click on it, and I can choose the chart type as per my need. Suppose I want a line chart because we are looking at a trend. Yeah, so as you can see, we are able to plot this particular chart, which is showing us the revenue month over month. I can do a number of customizations on top of it, which is I can change the color. I can change any of the number formatting. If I want to view the numbers as thousands, millions, all those formatting can easily be done here. So let me select just millions. Let me enable thousand separators. Yeah. So in the tooltip, as you can see, the values are started coming in the millions. Now, if I want to show the data labels, I can just simply turn them on. All the different chart background colors, plotting, all those options can be modified from here. I can even change the data intervals between the axis, scale interval, whether it be our x-axis, y-axis, and I can also add certain visual lines if I want to, right? So let me show you one example. So in case you want to analyze which of my months are doing well when it comes to my goal or my average, and which months are not doing so well. And so in order to do that, I can just draw a dynamic line on in front of my chart so that it is easier for me to visualize which is overperforming, which is underperforming, right? So let me just select revenue. And since I want the average revenue, let me just click on that. Okay. So once I do save, I'll be able to see a line, right? So as you can see, you'll be able to analyze which months are doing better in terms of the average, which months are doing not so well, right? So these kind of customizations will be easily done. Now, if you want to just highlight this thing more, we also have the functionality of conditional formatting, wherein you'll be able to change the color of your bars or lines or data points through the conditional formatting option, right? So what I want to do right now is whichever data or the revenue I have greater than 5 million, I want to say that color them as green. Okay. So I'll just say value green. Okay. So as you'll see that all the data points which are there above 5 million, those are converted to green. Let me just dim this color a little bit so you're able to see. Yeah. So these are green. And similarly, I can add another rule which says that wherever my total revenue is less than 5 million, I want to color them as red. So yeah, so I'll select the condition and add the threshold values and the color. Yeah. So as you can see, these are colored as red. So these kind of customizations can easily be done on top of your charts, which increases the chart's explainability and interpretation, right? So you're able to see the red and green points very clearly. You're able to see the line as well. And once you have customized it, it will look something like this, right? You can customize it more. You can give the line a name. You can change colors. All these customizations are easily feasible. And meanwhile, if you have any questions, I would encourage you to put it in the chat. We'll get it answered in the next section of question and answers. So we do have options of drill downs hierarchies as well. In self-service, you'll be also be able to create maps using advanced geofencing, choropleth maps. So if you have like a GeoJSON of any um, file of any country or state, you'll be able to plot those easily into the maps, and all the different charting options are available to you, right? So all these we can cover in subsequent sections, in subsequent webinars, or even if you're interested, we can have a one-on-one conversation to deep dive into what all is possible through this dashboard designer, because in the interest of time I cannot cover all the features right now, so I've covered only the important ones. But we do have a lot of other features such as hierarchy management, geofencing, layering, the clustering in maps. So if any one of you is interested, we'll be happy to take a one-on-one session and we can show you how to do advanced data visualization as well, right? So once you have created all of these charts, like I did for my dashboards, I have already created all the different charts for the dashboards. You can go to just the design dashboard section, and you'll be able to see this sort of a view and different templates, right? So if you're designing it for the first time, you'll be given an option of templates wherein you can select all the layouts as per your need. You can increase or decrease the sizes as per your need, right? So all these things can be easily done. You can select different themes, customizations, so how your theme should appear, the appearance of the dashboard. All this can be easily done from here. And finally, there is also the filter and slicing and dicing options available, right? So if you want to slice and dice your data in terms of the region, you can apply all those filters, departments. So I can just apply it and the whole data will get refreshed as per the region. So if I've applied the filter of a region India, you'll be able to do that. Similarly, I can also click on any of these, right? So if I click on May, automatically all the charts are associated to one another, and you'll be able to apply that sort of associativity across the different charts, right? So clicking on any of the charts, any of the data points, will be able to filter the other charts based on the associativity configuration that you have already done, right? So it is a pretty interactive form of dashboard through filters, even slicers, or the clicks that we have in terms of the uh, charting options, right? So all these are available. Once you are satisfied with the layout and everything, you can publish the dashboard. And after publish, the dashboard will look something like this, as I showed you in the beginning. Yeah. So this is how the dashboard will look finally after publish. So as soon as I click on any of these, the interactions will come into play. As you can see, I clicked on June, so that filter got applied across all the different charts, right? And now you'll be able to only see the June data. So this is the interactivity I was talking about. One additional feature in terms of AI that we have is if someone wants to understand what is happening in any of these visualizations, we do have the feature of AI insights. So you can just simply go to AI insights. You can just generate those insights. So AI in the backend will look at the data points, understand what is performing well, what is not performing well, and it will be able to highlight that into the text format. So you'll be able to see the different insights and recommendations based on that, right? So this is how you'll be able to get the narratives as well. We do also have a what if scenario planning and geofencing, through which you'll be able to create what if scenarios. You'll be able to see if, okay, if I increase the sales by this much percent, how will the other measures get increased or decreased? Or if I increase the discount by this much percent, how much it will affect the other measures? So this kind of what if scenario planning can easily be done within our tool. uh, Similar, another use case can be of geofencing, wherein you'll be able to plot radius and see how much of the areas your marketing campaigns are covering, or maybe your sales is covering. So all these advanced use cases can be done within our tool as well. So if anyone is interested in looking at those advanced use cases within our tool, we'll be happy to have a one-on-one connect with you, and we can go deep into this whole module itself, right? So just to recap, we have looked at how we can create a data set by using different connectors in Luminor, right? And how, yeah, so by different connectors, how we can create a unified data set, and then how we can create the joins to bring in all the data from different departments together in the form of a schema, and how we can run dashboards on top of that, like create the dashboards and get all the cross functional insights into one single dashboard, right? So we also have other features of natural language querying, which is part of our Ask Me tool, and advanced machine learning analysis, which is part of our Do You Know tool. So if you're interested in learning about any of the other natural language querying or machine learning tools, we can schedule one-on-one with you, and we can have that detailed walkthrough for you as well for those, right? So I think that pretty much brings us to the end of the session. So we can probably get to the questions sections now.
So the Q&A is open, and I can see a lot of folks have asked questions. And thank you, team, for answering them on our behalf. But yeah, we'll pick few of them. So I can see Ankush has asked, does it allow to ingest unstructured source data? Yes, we do have connectors. So MongoDB is there. So JSON-based ingestion you can perform. BigQuery, Couchbase are one of the connectors which are available. Still, if something is there which is not catering to your use case in Luminor, we are happy to help to add few more connectors to add connectors based on your use case. So yes, we are covered from that perspective. So there's one more question about how can multiple team members collaborate effectively on the same project or platform. So we do have this concepts of projects, similar to any application which requires people working together. So we do have projects within organization. We have multiple projects. So you can have an organization, you can have multiple people within that, and then you can have different projects within that. So kind of a reporting team might be having one project, development team, audit engineering team might be having another project. So yes, we are covered from that perspective as well.
And we do have collaboration options such as sharing, embedding, and export also. So if you want to share on multiple channels, we do support all the sharing, and you can embed your dashboards into any links as well, and you'll be able to export and share it with your team members if there is any dashboard or visualizations that you want to do. So we do have all those other collaboration options as well available. Thank you.
Okay. Next is again Ankush has asked one of the questions. Do I need to hire a data engineer to connect different systems and build dashboards on Luminor? So the idea of Luminor is to democratize your data journey. So what we have aimed is, a business user whose day-to-day task is not to write SQL scripts or Python scripts, who is not technically inclined in that manner, they can also run their jobs, create data sets, create dashboards, create applications. So entire pillars of the Luminor, they have been designed keeping in mind that anybody should be able to get their data journey sorted with minimal steps. So yes, we are covered from that perspective as well. Okay, one more question I can see. So does Luminor provide an end-to-end solution that includes data connectivity and visualization? So yes, we are covered from that perspective as well because the pillars that I explained, they cover right from ingestion, connectors, creating dashboards, performing machine learning on your data, and getting insights, and even performing actions through our Luminor App Studio. So I guess that answers your question. Okay, so I can see one of the questions, what data storage are we using? So we do have partnerships with OpenText and Snowflake in the backend. We go for Vertica. That's the default data lakehouse that we are utilizing, and it's part of Luminor's license, so you don't have to pay anything extra for that. Okay. So there's one more question. Can we integrate the pipeline and dashboards with any repository like Git? So yes, right now that's in development, but very soon we'll be having that support. Also, as I told, we do have customization options available. So there is something that is not present in Luminor currently, but it's your use case. It's something you need. We are happy to help in that case. Okay, I can see one more question. Can we also add the RSL on the data? I guess they're referring to RLS, row level security. Yes, you can definitely do that. In the dashboards, you can implement row level security, provide access to users depending on what your use case is. Uh, so I guess we are covered from that perspective as well. I hope that answers your question. So guys, we have last 5 minutes left. If you have any more questions, feel free to put it on the chat. We'll try to cater that.
And if any one of you is interested in a one-on-one demo or further connections, feel free to put it in the chat and we'll reach out to you as well. Just give it one more minute.
So I can see one more question here. Do you have anything for data science capabilities?
Yes.
Uh, yes,
Yes, we do
Himanshu, you
have
take this.
the data science capabilities. So as I explained, one of the modules caters to only the data science, which is our Do You Know module. So it through that you are able to run all the different ML models such as regression, classification, correlation, clustering. So all those different sort of analysis are present, and you are able to also run it in our Ask Me module, which is our natural language querying module. So we do give the capabilities for users to run basic analysis such as forecast, trend, change analysis in our Ask Me module as well. And for the advanced models such as regression classification, we have our Do You Know module. So if anyone is interested in having a look at those in a one-on-one demo, we'll be happy to share those. We'll be happy to learn about your use case and implement the same in your uh, business. Yeah. Yeah, so I see one more question that do you use data with GenAI and Ask Me modules? Correct. Do you share? Okay. So we do not share. Our data is completely secure. So whenever you are using the Ask Me module, the data completely resides within Luminor and it is not shared with any of the large language models. So we have all the security guardrails in place and none of the data gets shared outside. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, we'll just wait a couple more minutes if there are any more questions.
Okay, I can see one more question. Is it possible to embed these dashboards to CRM or ERP applications? Yes, you can embed these dashboards to your applications, in your websites, in your app, in your platforms. That is definitely possible.
So, team, we have shared the link of Luminor. I would encourage you to just sign up to the Luminor platform. Try it for your, for yourself. Try it for free, and you can experience and run your business use case. And if you face any challenges, feel free to connect with us. We'll be happy to solve your business problems. All right, I think that's it from the questions perspective. We'd love to connect one on one. If anyone is interested, feel free to reach out to us. And thank you for your time today. I hope you were able to learn something new today, and I hope you have a great day for the rest of the day. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a good day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining. It was a great session. It was great to. I hope it helped you all learn something. And that's it from my side. Thank you.